Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with you to read some of the books from the Splat the Cat series. These books are really fun to read to your children because comic based plus lots of rhyming words. So it motivates their it elevates their imagination. So let's get started. I have a total of 7 books of Splat the Cat series, so I'll be reading first 3 books, then after that you have a surprise, and then you will be listening to other 4 books of Splat the Cat. Visitor today too for the reading. So today we have the sock reindeer. So Reindeer is joining with us throughout the reading. I have lots of Splat the Cat series. They are so funny. They are so fun book. So I have Splat the Cat, Blow Snow Blow. Splat the Cat, The Rain is a Pain. Splat the Cat, The Wail of a Tail. Splat the Cat, The Duck with No Quack. The cat sings flat. Splat the cat, ice cream for ice cream. Splat the cat takes the... First I'm going to read Splat the Cat, Blow Snow Blow. Are you ready for the fun? Let's go start our first book of Splat the Cat. Splat the Cat, Blow Snow Blow. Based on the creation Rob Scotton. It's a scholastic book series for beginning readers. I can read. Splat the cat, blow snow blow. Splat stared out the window. When will it snow? He asked Mom. He wanted to make a snow cat, the biggest and best snow cat ever. Try to let it go, Splat, said Mom. Don't worry. It will snow, said Dad. You said that a long time ago, said Splat. Splat looked to and fro. Wait, was that snow? No, this snow is too slow, said Splat. Will it show? Then Splat said, I know. I will grow my own snow. Snow is wet and cold, said Splat. So he got some ice and put it in a bowl. When Splat said, snow is light and white, so he shook out his pillow. Next, Splat said, now I need a little wind to blow. Splat! Splat forgot to set the fan on low. It made the bowl overflow. Oh no, said Splat. Little sister shook her head. She said, don't you know you can't grow snow? As Splat cleaned up the mess, he started feeling low. When will it ever snow? He said. I know, said Splat. I will think snow. Splat looked to and fro. Wait, was that snow? No, this snow is too slow, said Splat. When will it show? Then Splat said, I know. I will grow my own snow. Snow is wet and cold, said Splat. So he got some ice and put it in a bowl. When Splat said, snow is light and white, so he shook out his pillow. Next, Splat said, now I need a little wind to blow. Splat! Splat forgot to set the fan on low. It made the bowl overflow. Oh no, said Splat. Little sister shook her head. She said, don't you know you can't grow snow? As Splat cleaned up the mess, he started feeling low. When will it ever snow? He said. I know, said Splat. I will think snow. Splat put on his yellow snowsuit. Then Splat took out his sled and put all his ducks in a row. We are ready to go, Splat said. Blow, snow, blow. He waited and waited. And lo and behold, it began to snow. But the snow was just so. It was very, very slow. Splat said, this snow is too low for the sled to go, but I can still make a snow cat. Splat got a wheelbarrow. He dumped the snow to start making a cat. What is that? Little sis asked. A snow cat, said Splat. Little sister added a bow. She said, now it's a snowy little kitten like me. Splat and little sister tried to play catch in the snow, but there wasn't enough to throw, and the light was getting low. Time for dinner, called Daddy. Everyone sat down to eat, but Splat could barely swallow. He kept looking out the window. Then the wind started to blow. The low snow began to grow and grow and grow. Splat and his family stayed cozy. They roasted marshmallows by the fire's glow. They made shadow shapes and told silly stories. The next morning, Splat saw loads of snow. Splat built the best snow cat ever. That's the end of this book, The Splat the cat, blow, snow, blow. Book is Splat the Cat. Ice cream for ice cream. Let's begin. Splat the cat, ice cream for ice cream. Splat the cat beamed in the back of the bus. His class was on a field trip to the ice cream factory. Ice cream factory. Happy Flat here. I could eat 4 ice cream cones a day, said Splat. I could eat 15, said Plank. And I could eat all yours and 1,000,000 more, said Spike. Kitten licked her lips. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. The friends cried. At the ice cream factory, ice cream swirled in big vats. Pipes steamed, nozzles gleamed. Wow, said Splat. What a dream. The factory manager greeted them. I am Mr. Jellybean, he said. Who wants a tour? Hooray, sang the cats. I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Mr. Jellybean led the class to a back room. The cats' faces fell. There was a chalkboard, chairs, desks, but no ice cream to be seen. Mr. Jellybean cleared his throat. First, let's talk freezers, he said. Some are big, some are small. All are extremely cold, extremely cold. Mr. Jellybean talked on and on. He seemed to love his freezer theme, but the cats did not. Their eyes glazed over. Their heads drooped. Splat began to daydream that he was making ice cream. He closed his eyes and leaned against a big red button. Emergency ice cream release! Beep! Alarm gleamed, lights beamed, Splat jumped and screamed. Steam puffed out of a big pipe. Then splat! Ice cream steamed out. It became a huge ice cream wave that grew and flooded the factory. Now that's a lot of ice cream, said Plank. Take a taste. Yum. What happened? Mrs. Wimpy Dimple asked. I don't know, said Splat from under the chocolate chips. The class cleaned themselves up. Mrs. Wimpy Dimple counted heads. Everyone was there except Seymour. Splat screamed. I have to find Seymour, he said. He ran back towards the door. Wait, Kitten cried. We will come with you. We are a team after all. Inside, the team checked out the ice creamy mess. Let's look, they said. Be careful, Splat said. Seymour is so small, we may not see him under all this ice cream. With brushes and buckets, the cats cleaned and ate their way into the factory. "Seymour!" Splat called, but Seymour was nowhere to be seen. Then the team cleaned and ate their way through the next room. "Seymour!" Splat called again. The team continued until the factory gleamed, but it seemed Seymour wasn't any more under all that ice cream. Just then, a blob of whipped cream fell onto the Splat's head. Splat looked. Splat! There was a Seymour. Seymour! He was way up on a beam. He couldn't call out. His mouth was full of ice cream. Seymour leaped into Splat's paws. Then Mr. Jellybean thanked the team. "The factory is so clean. How can I repay you? Would you like some ice cream?" The cats all groaned. No more ice cream," they said. "For now," whispered Seymour. That was the end of the story of the Splat the Cat, Ice Cream for Ice Cream. This is a third book of Splat the Cat series. Splat the Cat and the Duck with No Quack, based on the creation Rob Scotton. Splat's bike went clickety-clack as he rode along a bumpy track to a cat school. Suddenly, the wheel of the bike got stuck in a crack. Oops, there is a crack. There is a crack. "Don't worry, Duck," said Splat. "You must be lost. I will take you back to the pond. I will help you get your quack back." Splat picked up the duck with a little book and put both in his backpack. "Take care in there," said Splat, "and don't sit on my fishy stick snack." Splat put his backpack on, got on his bike, and set off again along the bumpy track towards the pond. Splat's bike went clickety-clack, clack, clack. Splat stopped by the pond and opened his backpack. Duck popped out, looked about, then popped back in again. "Maybe Duck isn't lost," Splat said. "Mrs. Whippety Dimple will know what to do." And Splat wobbled his way back on the track to cat school. When Splat got to school, he parked his bike in the bike rack shack and dropped his backpack on the bumpy track. Duck looked out from a crack in Splat's backpack. Duck saw Spike's silly grin and had a panic attack. Duck jumped out of Splat's backpack. "Duck, Duck!" yelled Splat. Where? Yelled Plank. "Looking blank, too late, splurf!" The duck with the little book sat on Plank's head. "No quacks," said the Splat. "No quacks?" asked Spike. "No quack?" asked Splank. "No quack," said Splat. "The duck lacking in quacking," said Spike and a plank. "That's not right." "Maybe duck is hungry," said Spike. Spike took the fish stick snack from Splat's backpack and gave it to the duck. But duck didn't bite, so Spike ate the fish stick snack himself. "Maybe duck is sad and needs to be cheered up," said Plank. Plank made a funny face. Duck didn't laugh. Duck didn't even grin. Plank's funny face stayed stuck. "Oh." I know," said Kitten. "Duck needs a bow with a little pink dress to match. That will bring Duck's quack quack back." But the bow and the dress were not a success. Duck's beak stayed firmly closed. "Mrs. Wimpity Dimple will know what to do," said Splat. Mrs. Wimpity Dimple looked at the duck. "A duck lacking in quacking," she said. How very odd. "But the answer must be simple," said Mrs. Wimpity Dimple. I will examine this duck with a little book," said Mrs. Wimpity Dimple. She played some music to test Duck's ears. Duck danced the merry duck dance. Duck's hearing is all right. Maybe the problem is Duck's eyesight, said Mrs. Wimpity Dimple. Mrs. Wimpity Dimple pointed to a chart. Duck just looked blank. She looked closely at Duck. I see," she said. "But I don't think Duck does." Mrs. Wimpity Dimple put her glasses on Duck's beak. Duck blinked. Duck opened the book and started to read out loud. As he read, Duck began to quack, 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 followed by a quack, 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 quack. "Hooray for the duck!" cheered the helpful cats. Quack, 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 quack. Duck's quack was back, and that was that. That's the end of our fun book, Splat the Cat, the Duck with No Quack. Duck will put an arrow to Mama Duck and baby ducks. What is a baby duck called? The baby duck calls ducklings. So let's call ducklings. 1 duckling, 2 duckling, 3 duckling, 4 duckling, and 5 duckling. You must have heard this song before, the 5 Little Ducklings. Yes, it's the same song. So are you ready for the song? Let's start singing. Mama Duck and ducklings were swimming in the water in the pond. So they went out to play over the hills and far away. Can we sing the song and bring all the ducks back? Yes, we should. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mama Duck called quack, 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 quack. 1 little duck came pedaling back. Four little, 1, 2, 3, 4. Four little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck called quack, 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 quack. One little duck came pedaling back. 1, 2, 3. Three little ducks went out. Three little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck called quack, 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 quack. One little duck came waddling back. How many left? 1, 2, 3 came back. Out of 5, take away 3 is 2. Two little ducks went out one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck called quack, 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 quack. One little duck came waddling back. One little duck went out one day over the hills and far away. Mama duck called quack, 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 quack. One little duck came waddling back. All those ducks came waddling back. So all the ducks are back with their mama. All ducks are back and safe with their mama, the best place to be, and they had so much fun. So hope you like the surprise felt board singing. I loved it. I like the song and the ducks. All right, it's time for us to go back and read our 4 of the Splat and the Cat. Let's call our sock reindeer too. Okay. So we will start with the Splat the Cat. The rain is a pain. Splat. Splat the cat. The rain is a pain. Splat the cat. The rain is a pain. Splat couldn't wait to spend a whole day in his brand new skates. Skate shoes. It was sunny day. There was one plain little cloud in the sky, but it looked far away. Splat jumped, spun and flipped, and the cloud got bigger. It got closer. It got darker. Splat tried to skate away. He went left, he went right, but the cloud followed. It was gaining on him. Now the cloud looked as big as a plane or a train. It was gray. It was dark, stormy dark. The cloud poured rain. The rain is a pain, Splat complained. Inside, Splat tried to dry off. He shook out his fur. He jiggled his paws. He squeezed his tail. But Splat was still very wet. I will just air dry, he said, standing in a big muddy puddle. Splat wondered what to do next. Use your brain, he told himself. He rolled into the living room and built a race track. Splat went faster and faster, around and around and around. Splat picked up one muddy paw and then another. He left a big muddy puddle and a big muddy stain. Mom was not happy. Out, Splat, out, she said. But it's pouring, Splat explained. The rain is a pain. All the skating had made Splat hungry. He rolled to the kitchen for some ice cream. Little sister was frosting fish sticks. Little sister had the radio on. Meow Rock began to play. It was Splat's favorite song. He began to sing and dance. Splat bumped into Little Sis. The frosting spilled everywhere. Out, Splat, out, said Little Sis. I can't go out, said Splat. The rain is a pain. Splat rolled into a dining room. The song made him think of something to do. Let's play musical chairs, Splat said to Seymour. Splat fell flat. Dad was not happy. Splat, Splat, out, Splat, out, he said. It's still pouring, said Splat. The rain is a pain. Splat rolled into the hall to take off his skate. But Splat ran into Little Sister. Splat! Her plate of frosting fish sticks went flying. Oh no, said Little Sister. She reached out in vain. Yikes, yelled Splat. But he caught the plate. All the fish sticks remained. Mom and Dad heard the shouting. They rushed in and ran into Splat. Fish sticks went everywhere. Everyone slipped on the fish sticks. Everyone slid in the muddy puddles, down the hall and out the door. Oh no, said Splat. The rain is a... Oh no, said Splat. The rain makes a rainbow. That's the end of the Splat the Cat. The rain is a pain. The Splat the Cat. The rain is a pain. Now let's read our fifth book, Splat the Cat Sings Flat. Splat the Cat Sings Flat. Splat the cat goes to cat school. Splat likes to take Seymour. Seymour is Splat's pet mouse. Seymour rides in Splat's hat. One morning, Splat's teacher had big news. She asked all the cats to sit on a big red mat. Seymour sat in Splat's hat. All of you will sing on Parents' Night, Mrs. Wimpity Dimple said. If your singing is loud, your parents will be proud. Will lots of parents will be there? Asked Splat. Yes, all the parents, said Mrs. Wimpity Dimple. Glop, said Splat. Splat's tail wiggled wildly. Splat was worried. Splat was shy. I can't sing, said Splat. Can you meow? Can you meow? Asked his teacher. I forgot how to meow, said Splat. Can you hum? Asked his teacher. I even forgot how to hum, said Splat. Hey, Splat, said Mrs. Wimpity Dimple. I will help you sing. We will all help you sing. Mrs. Wimpity Dimple sang first. La la la, she sang. The cats on the mat began to sing, all except Splat. Now you try, Splat, said Mrs. Wimpty Dimple. Splat opened his mouth. Nothing came out. You can do it, Splat, said his teacher. Splat tried hard, but all that came out was little squeak. Splat looked at Seymour. Seymour was brave. He was a mouse in a room full of cats. Splat could be brave too. Splat opened his mouth again. La, sang Splat. The note was loud, it was long, and it was very, very flat. The cats on the mat went wild. Splat was not trying to be funny, but he was funny anyway. Sing just like that, said Mrs. Wimpty Dimple. You will be the star with the mouse in his hat, maybe, said Splat. Splat went home after school. What if I forgot my part? Splat asked Mom and Dad. You won't forget, they said. You won't forget, they said to Splat. Maybe I will forget, said Splat. Splat put Seymour on his head. Splat's tail wiggled and Seymour jiggled. Splat sang la. The note still came out flat. Maybe I won't forget, said Splat. Soon it was parents' night. All the parents came to Splat's classroom. The class stood on the big red mat. Parents' night, parents' night. Let's begin, said Mrs. Wimpty Dimple. The class started to sing. La la la, sang the cats, but Splat stayed quiet. He waited for his turn. Mr. Wimpty Dimple gave Splat a nod. Splat was ready. Seymour jumped onto Splat's head. Seymour was ready too. Splat's tail wiggled wildly. Splat opened his mouth very wide. La, said Splat, and the note was flat. It was very flat and very loud. He opened his mouth even wider. La, sang Splat. Then he opened his mouth as wide as he could go. La, sang Splat, and he fell off the mat. Splat! The class giggled. The parents laughed. Laughed the loudest of all. You were the star, said the Splat's mom. We are very proud of you, said Splat's dad. Splat was the cat's meow, said Mrs. Wimpty Dimple. Splat was happy. Guess what? Said Splat. I didn't forget to sing flat. I forgot to be shy. Mom and Dad hugged Splat. We love our cat who sings flat. That's the end of the story. Splat the cat sings flat. Let's take our sixth book, Splat the Cat, A Whale of Tail. Splat the Cat, A Whale of Tail. Splat the cat buckled his seat belt. Let's go, he yelled. It's vacation time. Everyone else piled in. Bring me back a shell so I can hear the sea too, said Grandpa. When I come back, I will have a shell to show and a story to tell, Splat said. Grandpa waved farewell. Hello, beach, said Splat. Splat's toes wiggled in a soft sand. Now he could look for a shell. Dad said, Splat, will you please help me with the umbrella? Okay, Splat said. Then I'm going to find a shell. Splat, first help me spell, begged little sis. Okay, Splat said. After that, I have to look for a shell. Just then, Splat's tummy made a rumble. Grrr. Time for ice cream and fish, Splat said. Then shell hunting. Yum. Splat began his search. He wanted to bring home the sound of the sea for Grandpa. First Splat found a dull snail shell. Small. It was very too small. Then Splat found a frail eggshell. That was the wrong kind of a shell, and it had a funny smell. Splat thought he saw a pale shell buried on the sand. Jingle, jingle. It turned out to be a bell. Almost all the other shells that Splat saw were broken. How odd, said Splat. What can I do? I have no shell for show and tell. I have no shell for Grandpa. Splat took his pail and walked along the water. He followed the trail of broken shells. Then Splat heard a crack. A shell fell. The shell broke. Splat looked up. A girl was dropping shells all over the shore. Splat ran after the girl. He tried to catch the shells before they fell. Splat ran back and forth. Then Splat! He fell into a swell. Splat flailed about. Then thump! He landed on something big. It was a whale. Can you help me catch a shell? Splat asked. The whale spouted. Sploosh! Water went up. Splat went up too. The girl dropped another shell and Splat caught it. Whoosh! The whale stopped spouting. Splat slid down the whale's tail and on the beach shore. Splat shook his water out of his ears and held up the shell. He heard the roaring swell. All is well that ends well, Splat thought happily. On the way home, Splat thought about the whale of a tale he could tell Grandpa. Then he fell asleep listening to the sound of the sea. That's the end of our 6th book, Splat the Cat, a Whale of a Tale. Now we have our last book, Splat the Cat Takes the Cake. Splat the Cat Takes the Tail. Splat the Cat sat watching Super Cat on TV. It was his favorite show. Splat the Cat sat watching Super Cat on TV. It was his favorite show. This time, brave Super Cat was saving his tiny town from an awful earthquake. Splat said, I want to be a brave hero too. Eek, look out! A snake! Say more, I will save you. So Splat saved Seymour from a sneaky snake. But he forgot to beware of his mango milkshake. Splat! That's that, exclaimed Dad. No more super cats. No more TV. No more TV, Splat groaned. No more TV, said his mom. Why not take a bike ride to the lake? Yes, I could use a break, said Splat. Splat took off on his bike. Riding helped him shake. Splat took off on his bike. Riding helped him shake his mango milkshake mistake. On his way to the lake, Splat saw a big sign. A clever thought crossed his mind. He could bake a TV winning cake. Win a new TV cake baking contest. Splat never made it to the lake. Instead, he sped home to the Splat never made it to the lake. Instead, he sped home to bake his cake. He opened Mom's cake book and looked and flipped. But no cake in that book had the tiny tap look. But no cake in that book had the tippy top look of a super first prize cake. So Splat said, I will bake my own super duper cake, one that nobody else can make. Splat said, let's see. I will need a large pan or two or maybe three. Splat put in all the things he needed to bake a super duper cake. Flour, butter, fish flakes, baking soda, marshmallows, I guess, and cherry and all supplies here. Splat said to Seymour, more cake flour makes more cake powder. Then he added one more thing. The cake was now ready to bake, but that last thing Splat added was a big mistake. Splat! Now there was no cake and there was a big mess. Splat was too tired to bake another cake. He went to the bed thinking, how will I win the TV? What would Super Cat do? Then Splat dreamed of Super Cat. When Splat woke up, he knew what to do and how to bake his super cake. At the contest, Splat was ready. Spike was there with his cake. Kitten was there with her cake. Plank had baked a cake too. Spike's cake was wider. Kitten's cake was prettier. Plank's cake was taller. Was Splat's cake super enough? The judges looked closely at every cake baked. They tasted the cakes. They talked together. Then one judge said, our top judge will now award the super cake prize. Surprise! The top judge was really Super Cat. Splat the cat takes the cat. Splat the cat takes the cake, said Super Cat. I mean, he takes the TV. Splat the cat takes the cake, said Super Cat. I mean, he takes the TV. Splat was very happy. When he got home, he said, now it's time to watch Super Cat. It's you who takes the cake, Super Cat, whispered Splat. That's the end of the story. Our last story, the cat takes the cake. I hope you enjoyed our Splat the Cat story series. Thank you for watching, friends. Hope you enjoyed it. See you again next time with fun books.